What would be your biggest argument? It's like you're facing a jury. I should win this game because blank. What's that kind of driving reason or argument there?
I think I've really come across as a likable person. I feel like I'm very approachable. I mean, I was approached for people wanting to kind of split up the tribe dynamics. I also feel like I did a good job on the first day of kind of bringing in David and bringing in kind of the Rachel Austin quad. I just think like my ability to negotiate my way through the game, and then also be a asset in challenges and hopefully go on a immunity idol run. That would be nice to have, but I don't know. I need to. That'll be if I survive. That'll be what I'm up all night about thinking about. So I'll have something good for that tomorrow.
With the new stages of the game beginning, I'm gonna have to scale it back a little bit and use what I think is the most important key in this game is my social game to advance me forward. If that means maybe throwing a couple of immunity challenges or, just being my charming, funny self, that's what I'm gonna do to get myself forward. And if it ends up that I don't end up with these people, I will have figured out a different way to get myself to the end.
This is the thing. I feel like I'm playing a slightly different game than everybody else. I feel like people are I think my game is a social one and a strategic thinking one, and I think a lot of people aren't. It's not like they're not playing that game, but they're playing like okay, who do I want in the final 3 game? And I'm thinking there's a few more dynamics in that. I'm thinking there's a little bit more strategy, and all of these guys are thinking, okay, tribalism, like final 5, final 3, and I'm like, okay, that's gonna work for me to an extent, and I'm ready to like make some big moves. So, and I think these guys are really working on playing it safe.
I haven't pinpointed anyone I really want to dig in deep with. The girls are an easy one, but that's an obvious one too. I feel like I do better with guys anyways as far as strategy goes, and that's kind of how I got to where I'm at now. So I don't have anyone right now.
Like it's funny every time we go to tribal. I haven't been worried once. Even when my name got written, I got a tie, and then they went to tiebreaker. They could have voted me off. I don't know what, guys, I'm a big target. I know it probably looks like, they could just get me out later. I have an idol in my pocket that I could have played, and I didn't. I feel like it took some balls to sit there and risk getting voted out with an idol in my pocket. My name gets thrown around, but I have confidence in the information that gets to me, and it's been amazing. I was hoping this would happen, and it actually has. I'm not really seeking out people, and that's on purpose. If I go running around trying to create alliances, I would have the biggest target in my back. I would have been gone so long ago. I'm basically allowing information to come to me, and the other tribes, I don't know if they've told me the incorrect vote, behind what we end up voting for. They haven't lied to me once. It's unbelievable.
What's always been in the back of my mind is find the big threats and work with them, because I don't want to try to fool myself into thinking that I'm not seen as threatening. David was kind of pitching to me and Justin hey, we're probably the 3 biggest threats from our original groups. So it could stand to reason to make sense for us to work together, and I assumed that was a significant threat from the other tribes.
From Zika, I think, obviously, based on our walk, David seems open to mixing things up and trying to keep some of the stronger people alive as long as possible. I haven't really connected much with Rachel. I think David and Bobby are very, very tight together. I think the 3 of them will work together and fight for each other and try to protect each other, which is a really, really strong, hard group to go up against in challenges. So we got to break that up as much as possible as soon as we can. But it's interesting. They make a really good point that if we start to do that, there's less and less shields in the game. And as I can't believe I'm saying this, but as one of the more physical players in my core group, that could be a bad thing for me down the line.
Dude, you can't underestimate how much other people are talking to each other. Because that's the one thing you don't realize out here, is that even though it seems like people are not talking as much, when you're talking to everybody and giving them different information, it's gonna get out. You're not as smooth as you think you are.
Morning, guys. David, I need to take it back. Unity back up for Brad. Our next challenge is called Taking Shape. You're going to start behind this group of blocks, blindfold. You're going to make your way out to your rope, which is corresponding to your position where the block is. Follow the rope out to the hitching post. You need to go underneath and through the hitching post. You cannot go around the outside. Once you're through, make your way to the center table. There will be a master board here with puzzle pieces on it. They're fixed. You're going to feel their shapes. Decide how many you want to try. You can try to feel all of them and remember them. You can make multiple trips. It's up to you. Once you're satisfied, you want to come back. Make your way back to the hitching post. Again, through the middle. Back to your rope. Follow it. You get back. In this bag are the puzzle pieces corresponding to the pieces that were out there. You have to be around this side, facing the table, to have the same orientation as the pieces when you felt them out there. Open up your bag, recreate the same sequence of pieces that you felt out at the table in the center. Our spotters will be watching. You don't need to say, I think I have it. We'll be watching, so we'll know if you do. Spotters, be all good? Survivors ready? Go! Justin, first one through the hitching post and first one at the table. Julia right there on her side. Big crowd now, trying to find space for their hands. Back through and under the hitching post. Follow your rope back to your station. Find your way back to the solving station. Grab your bag of pieces. Justin working on the puzzle. Julia's back. Got to go through the hitching post on the way back to your station. Gracie's back at her station. Rachel's at hers. Bobby's back. Louie's back to his station. David and Anthony getting back. Bobby's got one. If it's in the right spot. Rachel got it already. She wins it.
What the hell? That was crazy fast. Wow. Can she see? Wow. I was not even close.
She had to.
Man, it was really hard to get it in there.
Rachel, nice job. Congratulations. All right, here's what's about to happen. Rachel, you're wearing immunity. You're going to continue to be immune, but I'm going to take that back from you. for purposes of this challenge because this challenge is a reward challenge. The outcome of the immunity is still to be determined. This reward challenge is called Last Idol Standing. We're going to draw numbers 1 to 8, and that's going to determine your starting position inside the ring. You're going to have a paddle, and on top of it, what we're calling an idol. It's not an immunity idol, don't bother bringing it. On my go, you're going to attempt to knock the idols off of the other player's paddles. There is a very significant reward on the line. Large meal for the winner. Shower if you'd like to do that. And whatever this clue may hold for you.
I hope it's a toothbrush.
I'll also let you know, if you're not the winner and you're left behind here, there's going to be a rather unpleasant exercise that everyone that's left behind is going to have to go through. So there's a lot of incentive for you to win this challenge. Paddles. You can use 2 hands, you can use 1 hand, do whatever you want. Survivors ready. Go. Gracie's out, Louie's out, Julia's out.
I don't know, we just...
Little discussion going on. Rachel's out. Still good? Bobby and David. Bobby in a compromised position. I want to win this. Bobby wins reward. Bobby, come on out this. Come on over. Bobby. Nicely done. This is yours. Thank you. Hey, everybody. Please stay where you were. Of course, the reward's no fun by yourself, right? Right. I need you to pick one other person to join you.
Pick Justin.
Justin, come on around. Bobby, you can walk over towards your stuff, please. Justin, come here.
Bobby, go to your stuff.
Bobby, walk over to your stuff, please.
Sorry.
Justin, you're going to pick a third person to join you and Bobby. You're going to pick one person to join you and Bobby.
What do you mean by that? I'm going to do a green just to keep it all fleshed out. I'll go Julia.
Go over and join Bobby. Julia, come on around. You're going to choose the fourth to join the 3 of you.
Anthony.
Anthony, come on around. You 4, gather up your things. You guys hang out right there.
I'm just trying to get people to move so that we fall. Like, yeah. I got him to move, which is how it sounds. Yeah. Good.
Okay, you 4 can come on over. You can take a spot at any one of the tables with your backs to one another.
So on the inside?
On the inside. From now on, you may not look at each other, you may not communicate in any shape or form. What I want you to do is to write down the name of one of the other 3 people that are still here with you. You cannot write down your own name. The person's name that you write down is going to Exile Island for the duration of the reward. Rachel, do not turn around. In the event that the vote is tied, we will randomly choose one of the tied votes. We are only going to come out and tell you who the person in it is going. We will not reveal who voted for whom or what the total number of votes. So your vote is going to be entirely anonymous. So you're voting for the person among the 4 of you, not yourself, that you want to send to Exile Island for the duration of the reward. Go ahead. David, you're headed to Exile Island. You can grab your bag. Follow Evan over there. Okay, Handler, you can get the other 3 and take them out.
So we're at Exile. It's like a little, like, tiny clearing in the middle of the woods. I was hoping to be some sort of clue. There's not. And I was hoping I'd be able to just quickly find an idol and be able to chill the rest of the time. I can't find one. I just spent, like, I don't know, half hour running around through the woods. They're going to think I have an idol, so it's going to suck if I don't find one. I'd rather just find one, which I already do, by the way. I already have one, so I'm not entirely worried, but I would love to be loaded with 2. I'm looking forward to finding this thing. If I don't, I'm also looking for other stuff that just looks idly. So I found kind of a cool bone, and I also have the note and the little case that the other real idol I have is in. Yeah. So the entire time I had no idea what was going to happen. I thought we were actually voting somebody off, the 4 of us. When I saw the parchment paper, I was like, you gotta be kidding me. If I get voted off this way, it's gonna be ridiculous. But we voted for someone to come to Exile. I voted for Rachel because she's in my alliance. It's like, you know, if there's an opportunity to further it, she already had a immunity challenge necklace, so she's already saved for this vote. And it's like, hey, if she can go find another idol, maybe that's something we can share. Like, that's awesome. Who I didn't want it to be was Louis, who's on the chopping block. We were about to go vote him out, and then we ended up going back and doing this reward thing. And, you know, if he had come out here and found an idol, it could have blown some stuff up. I think we would have still survived it. And, like, I'm ready to play my idol at any time if I got freaked out. But I walk into Tribal, and it's like, what the heck's going on here? And then they bring in the jury.
David has been exiled by his tribe. While he is here, he can either make a statement or ask a question of each one of you. How you answer that is entirely up to you.
This is going to be a long run-on sentence that ends in a question, all right? There's probably a lot of moments where it looks like I'm not always doing the things necessary to get myself to the end and win, but I want to know from you, Austin, what do I need to do to get to the end and have you vote for me?
I want to see that, yes, you've survived and advanced, and that's what you have to do, but I also want to see something that's a move that you made happen, and not just something that, yes, you were able to get in a majority and like find the crack and get in on a vote. I want to see something that you started and that you can take ownership for.
Good, thank you. I'm going to ask the same question to all of you. Yeah, what do I got to do to win this game? And how do I get your vote?
From my perspective, you haven't been in control. So I agree with I'll just piggyback off what Austin said. You can't go to the end with somebody that's had way more control than you, because there's been a lot of people who have played very aggressive games. If you go against one of those people, I can't vote for you.
Thank you. Travis.
Yeah, I definitely want to see some sort of control that becomes apparent, obviously here, because it's the only place we see it. Any sort of idle play or advantage play would be good, or just even like last minute plea or something that really just distinguishes you from, I would say, the other two Zika members, because it feels like the three of you are kind of on a level playing field right now.
Thank you. Sam?
I think that I respect the amount of swing vote that you've played so far in the game, and I think that while it doesn't always seem like it, you and Bobby have been like kind of in the middle there, and I agree that I don't think necessarily like you were the one to instigate any of those moves, but I think that you directed it in a different direction, and I can see that, and I respect that gameplay. I would say right now, I mean, obviously you don't have to do it right now, but just distinguishing yourself, if you and Bobby both make it to the end, your game's the same in my eyes.
Excellent. That's it. Thank you, guys. You know, I'm able to ask them all a question and they can answer however they want. And to me, that was an opportunity. You know, I didn't want to ask about their gameplay. I didn't want to, like, how can I further myself? How do I win this thing? Their answers were exactly how I wanted them to see me. That it's like, you know, you really need to make a big play. You need to, like, play an idol. It's like, yeah, that's exactly what I'm hoping is going to happen. You know, I'm building towards it, but I couldn't do it too early, and I knew they were going to, I didn't know that, but I was hoping they were going to have that impression of me, that perception of like, you know, you're kind of like a floater right now, and I'm like, I'm kind of playing this aw shucks character. Their feedback was exactly what I wanted to hear. I was afraid they're going to tell me something, because they're all individuals, and they have their own reasons for wanting to vote someone to be the winner. Their reasons for why I should be the winner are basically consistent. Like, make a big move, do something. It's like, it's coming. Like, hold, it's going to be there.
We're going to the bathroom.
I'll poop with you.
Yeah!
Party!
Party!
Sick. How long you guys been back here?
As long as you guys have been
Oh, about an hour? Oh, right. So you're out about an hour.
So when we were walking away, I saw like them bringing out the tables. Are you doing a challenge?
You were like just
I thought they were immune.
I thought it was a boat. Yeah, I was like, you gotta be kidding me. And I figured she was safe. Like,
Yeah, we're all. Yeah. Well, I did too, but like I think we got something that would save them. I mean, it's only like a vote. Yep. What? I mean, it's like first. I mean, I was just telling these guys like Green Come True to like get to go to Exile. I mean, obviously it like throws a wrench and.
Well, there's definitely a hurt
But
there.
there's like I mean, it's you're away from the tribe, but obviously they make it worthwhile.
Yeah.
So it's
Yeah.
I was like, I would have written my own name down if they let us write our own names down. So
I
I couldn't
didn't know if
believe it's
you
like my good fortune.
I didn't know if you were going to be gone for tribal. And
Oh,
so,
yeah.
I put Louis and then I crossed it out because I didn't know if that person was going to be different to tribal. Crossed it out and I put you.
Yeah.
Interesting.
That's a good right. You were thinking, you were like 3 steps ahead of me.
Back before we talked about you I was glad.
I was too. But
that's why I was
so,
thinking to come.
would you guys rather do Julia or Louis?
I mean, I love these guys talk too about that. I kind of like having more fun. I don't mind having I don't love the look of like how many left. There'll be like 7 after this.
Yeah, me too.
There's only 3.
There's 3 girls right now.
Yeah, so.
So you guys want to do it?
No, I think we're
We
neutral.
were here with Louis.
Yeah, so you had to.
We were pitching Julia.
Of course.
And I mean, we can make it work with you guys if we want to.
And I think I'm great with staying the same. Like I'm great with not.
Yeah, we know what we want to do.
Yeah.
However, did Julia did she did
There
do a couple
definitely are some
big
reasons
moves.
to do Julia.
But I mean, there's a case for literally everyone right
She
now.
spun on Sam so fast and
And
flipped
changed
all of
the
us in
vote
like
within
10
2 minutes.
seconds.
Yeah.
And she's been
she's
been trying to play.
Mhm.
You all right?
You hear that?
Yeah.
Is it
Oh, I thought that was your mouth. So I'm
Yeah.
I'm great with staying the same.
I mean,
I was like, ah!
Yeah.
I mean, I will say that from the moment I met Julie, I was like, I don't know, she seems shifting on it, but what the heck? And then we get to it, then they bring the jury in and they let me ask each jury member a question, any question they want, and then they can answer however they want. They don't actually have to answer questions they don't want to. And basically, I asked them the same question. I said, what does it take for me to win? And they were saying, as I suspected, like, well, you don't make enough big moves and that sort of thing. That's sort of like what I was fine doing. I want to come. I want to have like some of my moments. I want the gross food eating challenge today. I can't believe that. That's usually something I'd never come close to winning. And I'm having fun playing. So I was glad I got their read on it. So that was one thing. And they were just like, you got to make big moves.
So they're a big move.
They're big moves. So that's for so that's information.
Because you know
for
who's
guys.
made the big fucking move?
Yeah,
Justin.
Yeah, exactly. Like,
but okay, here's my thing, and I know I don't want to like whatever.
We can
say
move
whatever
from
you're
here.
trying to say, but I need to pick Justin first. Whatever, it doesn't matter.
So the reason I picked Justin
I was
first was
gonna
to
say-
make it as arbitrary as possible.
Right.
I didn't want anybody to read into it.
Right.
And I figured
Yeah.
Justin
Right,
was
which
the
is-
safest.
that's kinda what-
I
that's
didn't.
kinda what I
I
thought.
obviously didn't want to take Louis in case they went to tribal.
Right. Obviously.
But
what I said
aside
in
from
my
Louis, I
gift
was like,
bag.
who's the most random
Like him or
person?
Gracie?
Justin or Gracie? So I just chose Justin.
I actually
that's
liked
fine.
it because I think he kind of kept an eye on some people.
And then he tried to do the same thing.
Well, yeah, and that's exactly what I wanted to
Yeah.
keep an eye
Of course he did.
It was you, Justin,
And then he picked Julie.
And then he picked Julie.
Oh, nice. Yeah. I felt good with it. I was like,
Okay, I don't want you to feel like
not at all.
Okay.
Yeah,
because I know how some of these rewards go, and people.
No
are
way,
like,
homie. Like,
No,
dude,
it's all
I'm
good.
full still from lunch.
Yeah.
From the
Oh,
grocery.
God.
So no,
That's-
seriously, I'm fine. So
that's coming in.
I was glad. Then I got to go to.
Yeah, that's
like
sweet.
fun and fucking find it.
Yeah, it's great that you had that advantage of the professional or the tribe jury.
Yeah, that's cool. That's really
Oh, the jury thing. Yeah. I mean, it's probably.
But literally,
yeah.
But here's the good thing though, is like, who the hell out of us, like again, this sounds like Justin, even not even third grade, who's needed? Like, what the fuck have we done? You know what I mean? Like,
I feel like we've done a lot of small moves that we
Right.
can talk to, which
Right,
honestly,
of
if we
course.
we're in a final tribal council with people that have a bunch of people that have done a bunch of small
Right.
moves, then
I mean, at this point, our story is like we're clung to life when we could have been picked off or something because we were starting in a minority.
Right. I mean, I haven't been like I've been told like
you've got your name down, written down like only like it's like 1 or 2.
Once, but
yeah, a couple times. But
we all kind of. Well, you
let's figure it out. Let's do something. Let's figure out ways we can all
have something to say and get.
So how many do we have right now? 7?
8.
8.
Yeah.
So I think we have. So we're just gonna get rid of Louis and what's the thought after that?
You know what I. Did they talk about Julia, or they want to keep her, or I forgot. But,
I mean, it might be different what they're telling you and us, because literally Justin's he's going in, you were in the background, he's saying Justin is pitching hard for me and Julia, me, her, and Gracie, to roll down. That's why
that's so
why
funny how he said the same thing.
Yeah, no, we got a Final Four.
Dude, that's what I said.
Him and Gracie. Yeah.
Exactly. He's trying to put us against each other.
Can we go for him? Yeah.
Probably.
I think so. I think that's
if we miss our opportunity, we might, he could win out, or he might have others. I'm done.
Okay. Why couldn't we do that yesterday?
Well, we can see.
There was embers.
Yeah,
there
we
was
also
embers.
couldn't
Yeah.
see.
Oh, there was some stuff in
And
there?
there's already
Yeah,
embers.
sure.
You don't even have to waste energy, aside from lung capacity.
Oh. We have another. Oh, we got
It says sawdust.
And that's the first time I heard about.
It was just gas, guys.
we can start the talk.
So,
from the top.
Talk to them?
Oh yeah.
I'll talk to Justin later. So as everyone knows, I got a advantage at the reward. Like, it wasn't a secret. So I just wanted to let you know about it. I'm gonna read it. So
Read
you
it.
don't think that I memorize it and
Yeah.
throw it into the fire or whatever.
Read it.
This is the challenge advantage. It can be used during the first or second challenge on Sunday. Present this note after the challenge has been described before the challenge begins. The advantage will only be described after you declare that it is being used. So, go and take a look.
Yeah, cool.
Just because
Thanks.
I think it's honestly more of a disadvantage than an advantage having that going into it. So,
thank you for telling us.
Thanks,
Yeah.
Appreciate you.
I did it for me.
Selfish.
Thank you for being so selfish.
Well, we would have wondered.
No question marks there.
Rachel, you want me to paper airplane it to you?
I trust you. And everyone looking at this.
We are all like.
Did they give it in front of all 4 of you received it? Or?
Yeah, they were literally in the path.
No.
No?
He was the only one who received it.
No, but they gave it to me in front of it.
Right. He went down to
yeah,
look.
yeah.
But I didn't.
Oh,
we
because
didn't
you won
read
the
to them
because you won the.
We didn't know
Yeah,
before.
yeah.
We didn't know
But at the
beforehand.
challenge, you said, "Oh, and the winner will get an advantage." Like, okay.
Yeah. No, we didn't know before this moment.
Uh,
For advantage.
Oh, that is drama. That is so beautiful.
It was for the fire. Since you can't get sticks. You can't pop sticks.
Oh man, it's gonna be
There it
really
goes.
dark during compression.
Oh, shit! Wait.
Yeah, I made a horrible mistake.
Horrible mistake.
It's like, hey, John, here's.
Here for our final 8. Survival challenge weather gods have smiled upon us today. I think we're going to have a little bit better weather today. Hopefully we
Finally.
Yes. We get one day of reasonable weather out of this whole challenge. We're going to bring in our jury. Just a reminder that Brendan is still part of the jury. He is hopefully coming out of the hospital this morning. They're awaiting the results of some final tests. Hope to have him here live, but we are keeping him in the loop. He's obviously following on social media to keep him apprised. Austin, Luke, Travis, and Sam voted out at our last tribal guest. So, lots to talk about since last night. Rachel, you've been wearing that a long time. That must have felt pretty good last night at camp.
Yeah, I had no idea how big this one was, and I'm very happy I got it on me.
So well timed, you felt like that was for sure something you needed going into this tribal.
I think everyone's felt it's something they needed throughout the night. Like everyone's name has come up, and besides mine, so pretty nice.
David, I want to ask you, the reward happened, you didn't get picked, you got left behind, all of a sudden you find yourself on Exile Island. Could you tell us about what that felt like?
Well, it was isolating, you know. So half the group is eating a feast, and the other 3 were back at camp, assumedly scheming. And I was just by myself out in the woods, looking aimlessly for idols, with no direction, no clues, and of course everyone assumes I have an idol. And I'm trying to think about how to spin it. And obviously, if a guy found an idol, he'd say he didn't. They wouldn't believe him either way. So I'm still trying to figure out how to navigate it to work to my advantage. I did find some cool bones out in the woods, though, that they look kind of idly, so might have to use them. You never know.
So Bobby, you ended up winning that challenge in a strange manner with your thing sitting sideways, but it's interesting because you guys were kind of talking and you said, I want to win this.
Yeah, well, I mean, it was sideways. I wanted to win it legitimately, right? Like, when he's saying, do you want this? It's like, well, yeah, I want it, but I want it legitimately.
Yeah. And of course that comes with the unfortunate job of saying, okay, now who am I going to take with me, right? So take me through your thought process.
So my thought process when it was sideways and David was standing there ready to pounce, I was like, well, I'm not gonna win this, which is what I want. Every time I watch Survivor and they have one of these, finally whatever reward challenges, it's you don't want to win because then you really get a target on it. Especially when it was announced that there was an advantage that was going to be, so everybody here knew. It was kind of in the same boat as David. Everybody was like, oh, it was a hidden immunity. Clue hidden immunity idol, extra vote, whatever. So when we got back to camp, I read it. It was a challenge advantage. I threw it in the car.
Okay.
Challenge advantage, I mean, wasn't worth it. Obviously, hidden immunity idol, if it was actually legitimate, it would have been more worth it. But challenge advantage just didn't seem worth keeping that secret and having that target.
Yeah. So Louis, you were in the third group, not on reward, not on Exile. You went back to camp. What was that like for the 3 of you?
I mean, it was strange because the 3 of us obviously thought, well, there's clearly an advantage at the reward because we saw that there was some kind of advantage, and there must be some kind of advantage at Exile Island, and the 3 of us are sitting here advantageless without numbers. So, we just kind of talked about what could be going on in the 2 different spots and, where chips will fall. Not that that even matters because that conversation happened so long ago that 7 million more conversations have happened.
Julia, you ended up going on the reward. Were you happy that you were picked, or was part of you saying, geez, I'm not sure I want to be singled out like that?
Yeah, I mean, I was happy to be picked. Can't lie about that. But I think when we were sitting there, we were just thinking through all the scenarios. Did they vote someone out? Is somebody on Exile? Like, are we going to come back and somebody's going to be gone? There were so many scenarios, so we were just kind of hypothesizing what could be. And then things really happened that night and this morning.
Anthony, tell me about camp last night. It was kind of late. Everybody gets back, but you've got a vote coming up at some point, whether it was last night, this morning, you had some work to do.
Well, it was weird because the scrambling happened way earlier when we thought we were going to vote right away. So when we got back to camp, there really wasn't much to go on except for we were kind of reminiscing about stuff. And then fast forward to this morning and still not much. And then fast forward to actually leaving camp and then all hell broke loose.
So Justin, if there wasn't a need, was there already a plan in place? You went back to camp and you said, hey, let's just stick with the plan? Or
if there was a plan in place, I was not aware of it. And if you don't know a name, that's probably you. So I'm pretty sure it's me. So, always enjoy live tribal council if anybody wants to have a conversation. But yeah, I'm feeling ultimately vulnerable. I think, as I was talking through confessionals last night, it just started to things started to hit me, and different conversations started to make sense. And it's not just about figuring out what your move is, but what's everybody else's best move, and it might be to get me out now. So,
Gracie, you think this vote's pretty well set, or is there still some fluidity to it?
Completely fluid. Yeah, I mean, it's a roller coaster. I think I've heard every name except Rachel. And so it's like I like that. I really don't like that. Like there's just so many variables. But yeah, we don't know.
That's certainly been the pattern with the last few tribal councils, so we'll see if that holds up. So David, time to vote. Tally the votes. If anyone has a hidden immunity idol and you want to play it, now would be the time.
John, hold on. I feel like there's a stigma because I went to Exile Island, so I just want to get this over with. I just want to play it. Hold on. I did find something in the woods. And it may or may not be an idol.
This is a cool looking bone. But it is not an immunity idol, so any votes cast for David will count. I'll read the votes. First vote, Julia. David. Gracie. 1 vote Julia, 1 vote David, 1 vote Gracie. Julia. Julia. 3 votes Julia, 1 vote David, 1 vote Gracie. Julia, that's 4. That's enough. You need to bring me your torch. Julia, the tribe has spoken.
So it's one of us.
Doesn't want to go down. Time for you to go finally.